Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now celebrating 17 years of broadcasting success, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, both for our radio audience here in Yazoo-City, WYAD 94.1 FM. We welcome you. Also, those joining us through WYADonline.com, and our friends tuning in at iHeartRadio as well. We're glad you all could be with us as well. We're all about bringing you great stories of service, and it definitely includes our next guest. We're excited to welcome Mr. Gregory Shaffer to our program. Mr. Shaffer is the Director of Yazoo County Parks and Recreation. We're going to talk to him not only about his duties there, but also what it's been like for him to have a life of service, to be of service to the community. And, of course, at the end of the segment, we'll let you know how to stay connected with Parks and Recreation as we're heading into 2021. Mr. Shaffer, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, glad to do it. Look, I feel like I know the whole family now. I've had your mom on, I've had your brother on, so we're glad to be able to have you on the program as well. I want to begin with service because it is such a big part of your family and of your own life. Have you always known that you were a person who wanted to be of service to others, especially the community?
Well, yes, I've been in the business a long time, well, basically all of my life, kind of mentored, from my dad as trying to be a upright man in really anything that you do.
Right. And
we have to really service and help one another, I feel, to be successful in life.
And it's a great reminder, I think, regardless of what role we're in or what position we're in, that should always be the goal. So as I mentioned, you are the Director of Yazoo County Parks and Recreation. For those who may be listening outside of the Yazoo area, Mr. Shaffer, talk to us a little bit about your duties that come with that.
Okay, well, I maintain and facilitate the parks up in for Yazoo Recreation Commission. I started this year just prior to the COVID-19. And for the majority part of this year, our parks have been closed due to the COVID. I normally maintain the facilities, keeping the grass cutting, trying to give it an uplift. We have to pick up a lot of trash every day, but it's part of the job, and I wanna kind of help Yazoo County and Yazoo City look better, more up standard, good quality equipment to deal with, and just be a standard park recreation commission across the board that allows our youngsters, our younger crowd, our older crowd to be able to have that recreation in their life, because we need recreation, throughout our life to whatever extent it might be.
Really good point. And you brought up something that, I think definitely we need to dive into a little bit here, Mr. Shaffer, because, I'm all about being able to spotlight people like yourself who are in positions of service. But I also think that regardless of what, as we said earlier, all of us have our role to play. You talked about picking up trash. I mean, that kind of puts it on the community, too, to make sure we're doing our part. Is that what you hope by example? Because it seems like you're an individual who likes to lead by example. Do you hope that people look at the example that you set, Mr. Shaffer, and say, you know what, I can do my part in making the jobs of everyone else a little bit easier?
Right. Everybody has their own part. Mm-hmm. If everybody would do their part, it would work out so much better.
Right.
If we could just, for one, get everybody to come together, and just really kind of just be on one accord. Mm-hmm. I think it'll make everything a little easier.
Yeah. And I think, too, and I'm curious as to your thoughts about this, Mr. Shaffer. It's a hard thing to talk about sometimes, but a lot of times we cut off our own blessings by not appreciating what we have. Is that also something you hope the community realizes, that by taking care of what we have, like what you're able to take care of with Parks and Recreation, that then enables us to get more, versus if we're not taking care of it, why should anyone want to invest more?
Right. And I mean, as a recreation itself, we have to do our part in order to ensure our our people that regulate us, which is, the Yazoo-City Board of Aldermen and the Yazoo County Board of Supervisors, we have to ensure them that we're capable of doing our job.
Yeah.
And that actually, if everybody does their job, I really think it's more blessings to come.
Right.
Because you're actually showing appreciative.
So true, and I think that's such a great thing. So I want to ask you this question, because for those who are listening to this conversation, Mr. Shaffer, I think a lot of times people want to do something. They want to act. They want to be involved. I think a question that comes up in their mind sometimes, and even other people may ask them, can you do it? What are you able to do? How did you get over that? I mean, as you said, this is something new for you, even though you've been a person of service. How did you get over any type of apprehension and just go for it when it came to wanting to serve in this capacity?
Well, I mean, if I'm understanding you correctly, by this, being my first ever, having this, being in this position.
Right.
I'm still trying to feel my way through it on the things that I can do, the things that I want to do that I might not be able to do. I'm thankful for my board members, because I can actually call them and get their insight on it, and they can kind of walk me through it. It's a learning experience for me.
Right. And I think that's the thing, I think, and that's really the point I was hoping our audience gets, is that knowing that we don't have to do it by ourselves. And that goes to, the company we keep, our support system. Have you also found, even in growing up, that, that saying that you are the company that you keep, that's been important for you to surround yourself with people who are going to encourage you but also work with you?
Right. You definitely have to have good people around you.
And I think that's the great reminder for all of our audience, regardless of what profession they might be involved in. I want to say, for those who are just tuning in here, either on the radio side or online, you're listening to Conversations Live. We're excited to welcome Mr. Gregory Shaffer to our program. Mr. Shaffer is the Director of Yazoo County Parks and Recreation. We're talking to him not only about what it's been like for him to live a life of service, but now, of course, to be of service with the county as well. Now, as you mentioned, of course, COVID has kind of impacted a lot of things, including what you all have been doing with Parks and Recreation. What has it been like for you personally, though, Mr. Shaffer, this year, to kind of navigate the uncertainty that's been going on this year?
Well, it's been a unusual year. The pandemic has forced a lot of things to change and go different ways.
Right.
Right now, the parks have been closed. The city just built a nice walking trail facility there in Roy Campanella Park, and it's got the nice benches and garbage cans, and it looks nice. It looks better, and it's coming. It's coming. I think we're going in the right direction.
Right.
With everything. But what we're going to try to do for the first part of what I know our next board meeting, we're going to try to come up with some type of procedure, protocol that may possibly open the parks back up partially, as at least to the walking trail.
Okay.
All of the sports and stuff has kind of been on hold right now, as far as the field and stuff like that goes.
Right.
But we hoping and expecting that 2021 will be better. That way we could actually kind of get back to some type of normalcy.
Yeah. So true, and I know that's something that people are going to be looking forward to. Mr. Shaffer, we know you have a lot going on. We really appreciate you taking out the time to be with us and to kind of talk to us not only about this journey in this year for you, but also what you're looking forward to. And like you said, hopefully we'll be able to get to some sense of normalcy next year. But in the meantime, we definitely want our audience to make sure they're doing their part to support the work that you all are doing, whether it's just making sure that we're picking up around ourselves, right? Just making sure that we are doing what we can to be able to make a difference, not just for our community, but also showing by example what can be possible. Mr. Shaffer, is the best place to stay connected with the Parks and Recreation just the Yazoo County website? Yes,
yes, sir. Or if anybody need an email, they can email me at yazooparksandrec@icloud.com, or our office hours. Our office number is 662-746-4981. You can call either one. You can call that number. I receive the phone calls 24/7. If you have any questions, feel free to call me. We can go from there.
All right. Mr. Shaffer, really appreciate you stopping by the program today. Appreciate the time. And it goes without saying, sir, you're welcome back here anytime. Looking forward to speaking with you again.
Well, I thank you for having me. God bless you. And everybody, please stay safe.
Appreciate that. God bless you as well. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live.